Hello, everybody. Good evening.
Hello, Renee. Good evening.
Hey, Jorge, how you doing?
Good, man. Good to see you. How are you?
Good seeing you. I
Good.
like your setup there.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's just a bookshelf.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, thank you, though. Thank you.
no, your
First time that
headphones.
I moved the desk to like right under the lamp, I'm like, I don't know if this is a good idea, right?
Oh, okay. Well, you got some good lighting there.
Put on some sunglasses.
Right. Hey, Laura.
Hello, everyone. Hi, Renee. Hi, Frank.
Hey, Kane.
George.
Coach Kane, good evening, sir. How was the meeting this afternoon with in the office? You had, I think you guys had a lender, I think, or we had a lender in the office today at noon.
I think it was raining and not many people were able to.
That what it is, yeah.
But I think I'm not sure if it ended up being on the phone, but they did have something at the
The main office, yeah. Yeah, I had a couple of meetings at school for my kids, so they were right at noon and at 1 p.m., so I wasn't even able to get out there. Hopefully Saturdays.
yes.
And also, Coach, I sent you an email. I don't know if you saw it.
I got the notification, didn't get a chance to open, but
Cool.
I'll check it out right now.
Right, yeah, when you get a chance, yeah.
Are you having a training on Saturday, Kane?
I want to, but I think it's a little short notice. I want to talk about the infamous Chat GPT.
Oh,
Would be good.
Yeah.
It's such a twister. It's such a,
It's amazing.
my goodness, it's a tornado if you're not careful. My goodness, it's a tornado under an earthquake. If you're not careful, it's crazy. It's insane.
It really is.
we're just going to wait for a couple more minutes, then we're going to jump on in.
Sure. Yeah.
And go over the agenda real fast and real quick.
Absolutely.
Hello, Mandy. Laura.
You're becoming a Canva expert now, Renee.
Oh, I don't know if I'm an expert, but
See,
I'm getting there.
Yeah,
Slowly but surely.
I mean, if you made all of those, I'm like, man, this is pretty cool graphics here, man. Look at this. Look at this guy right here.
Well, I used to be really good on PowerPoint,
Right on.
but I think Canva is so much better and easier.
It's nice. Next thing you know, you're like, wow, man, it's,
and faster, and it's free.
Exactly. Yeah, it's almost not worth the extra money to get the fancier stuff. It's like get the message across, and they offer so much. It's insane how much they actually offer.
Yeah, there's so much there that
the way you can grab it and just punt it over to your social media is just insane. It's like click, click, goodbye, next. It's pretty cool.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to jump on in since it's almost 10 after, and when people come in, that's not a problem. I'll just admit people as they come in. All right, so welcome, good evening, everybody. Hopefully everybody's staying dry out there. It's been crazy week, crazy days. I am so sick of this. I'm so done with the with rain at this point. I can't wait for the 80 degrees, 80, 85, 90. I don't even care, 90 degrees at this point, sunny days. So that's what I'm looking for down the road. So for the people that don't know, well, a lot of you know me already, but for the people that don't, my name is Renee Oliva. I'm a broker associate with eXp Realty, but also have a pretty big background in residential appraisal. And that's what well, today is Valuation Wednesdays. I guess everybody calls it different. Comp Wednesdays, Valuation Wednesdays. I saw Appraiser Wednesdays. So I guess there's multiple names for my Wednesday classes, training classes these days. But anyway, so of course Monday is with Frank and his he's the contract guru. He's the Caesar Milan of the RPA. So he's the contract whisperer. And of course we have Coach Kane. He's our tech guru, of course. And I'm starting to hopefully get a little bit more techie. Well, I've been techie, but I'm trying to improve my technology skills. Trying to increase those, because if you don't, basically guys, if you're not up to date with technology, you're going to get lost in this industry and every other industry. Technology is not going away, so it's just going to increase as time goes on. So we got to embrace the technology, even though sometimes you know, we get a little confused sometimes, but we got to just embrace that. And then of course me on Wednesdays, Property Wednesdays, Valuation Wednesdays. So really a little disclaimer, of course, I am a broker associate with eXp, and I am an appraiser. However, all the valuations and everything we talk about today is I'm doing it as a broker associate with eXp Realty, okay? Any valuation, anything that in terms of value is going to be under the umbrella of the broker associate, you know, as I am with the eXp. Okay, so real quick, our agenda tonight is I'm gonna show you some things that you can do on KV Core, but if you're not up to date or feeling familiar with it, or you know, you can do some things on the CRMLS. Maybe not as fancy, maybe not as nice, you know, but you can still do them. So sometimes I know there's a little hesitation with KV Core, but I think, you know, you guys are doing trainings every Tuesday with Kane, and he's getting you up to speed. But 1 hour training, 1.5 hour training, you know, is not enough. You got to get in there and, you know, go through it. So here's just some different ways to get some different things if you're not so comfortable with the KV Core. Okay, can everybody see my screen?
I can.
Everybody see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And then we're also going to just real quick go for the CRMLS CMA real quick, real fast, the adjustments that we did. And we're going to compare it to something that I don't think I've talked about that much at all, if at any, is the cloud CMA. And this one, I think Kane's going to like, because it's kind of the best of both worlds. It has a little bit of, it has CRMLS because it is a CRMLS CMA, but it also has that little bit more technology, looks a lot nicer, has the virtual, has the actual link. It's not just a PDF or something that you can email to somebody. It actually has a link, like a virtual link, like the KV Core does. So I'm going to show that tonight, and it's really, I really like it. I've kind of tinkered with it a little bit, but now I've really sat down and looked at it, and it's kind of, there is some limitations to it, but all of these have a little limitations. Every single one of them, every CMA that we do, there's limitations to each of them. Every single one of them, they're all not perfect, right? So that's the agenda for this evening. And real quick, I'm just going to throw this out. We need a little positivity. I know we're not a rah-rah. We don't do a lot of rah-rah here. Frank doesn't do a lot of rah-rah. I don't do too much. And I know Kane doesn't. I don't know what he does too. I don't think he does. But real quick, up in the upper left hand, don't carry your mistakes around with you. Instead, place them under your feet and use them as stepping stones to rise above them, right? We're all going to make mistakes. We're all learning. That's why we come to these trainings all the time. You know, don't kick yourself if you're making mistakes right now. You know, I know that some of you are still new in the industry. You're going to make mistakes, but just use them as a stepping stone and rise above them, right? Basically, I make mistakes. We all make mistakes. So just rise above those. The one in the middle, I found the key to happiness, stay away from idiots, right? Just stay away from idiots. Basically, stay away from the negativity. There's a lot of negativity out there. We know that, right? These days, there's just tons of negativity. You hear it on the radio, on TV, blah, 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 blah. It just gets crazy, right? So just stay away from, you know, idiots too, but just stay away from negativity. And lastly, I don't control the appraisal, right? Sometimes with your buyers, your sellers, and maybe even the lenders feel this way. Like, show me the money, you know, it's like, you know, I just don't control the appraisal. I don't know if any of you have had any appraisal issues lately, but sometimes it's frustrating. Us appraisers out there, third person, you know, out there, I'm not included in the transaction. You know, sometimes, you know, it happens, right? The appraisal doesn't come in. I haven't heard of, since I've been doing these trainings, I don't think anybody's really had an appraisal issue. It seems like a lot of the appraisals that are done for you guys have been pretty good. So it might not be an issue. Have anybody had an issue with an appraisal?
Ahí va mejor, un poquito mejor. No, nomás está yendo todavía a terapia, pero todavía le duele un poco.
Might want to mute that person.
Okay. Maricela, I think you're unmuted. I think she muted herself. I thought she was talking to me.
In Spanish?
In Spanish, yeah. I was about to answer. So, but anyway, so I just wanted to throw that out there real quick. Okay, guys. So they're just a little, you know, just be cool. Just, you know, just what you got to do at this point, right? So I'm going to stop the share real quick. I'm going to share something else real fast. We're always talking about interest rates. You know, I'm not a lender, of course, but I like to talk about, because all this is basically, determines value, right? Interest rates. And that's all we're hearing all the time. Interest rate, interest rate, interest rates. Hopefully this will go. This is my phone real quick. I'm just going to show you guys something. Do you see it? Do you see this? Does everybody see this? Does everybody see this? Okay.
Yes.
This is just, it shows you the patterns of interest rates since 2018, right? Since the last 5 years. 5 years isn't too long ago, right? But I think we all forgot or lost our memory. Anything that happened before the pandemic, right? What was our lives before the pandemic? We just remember our pandemic lives and everything beyond that, right? But what was our lives before that, right? But as you see here, the 30-year fixed was at 4.5% at 5% in 2018, 2019, right? And then it went down to some incredible, you know, 2%, between 2.5%, and we just got spoiled, right? During pandemic, it was going down and down and down. And then, of course, back in 2022, right? Then it went back up and looked kind of like the mid 2022s. It was at 4.5% and 5%. And I don't know about you, but I remember everybody was freaking out because it was 4.5%, 5% and going up, right? But that's where we were in 2018, right? So we got to kind of bring ourselves back to reality. That and interest rates are still going up. Yes, they are. I'm not going to say they're not. Look at where at the end 2023, at the end of 22, we're a little over, a click over 7%, and now we're coming down, right? Coming down a little bit, but we're going back up again. So we just got to remember. Sometimes we just got to remember where we were, if we remember before the pandemic, and maybe not to freak out. Maybe show this if you want this. Maybe show this to your buyers. that, you know, and that's where those, I think Laura was talking about it the other day, a couple weeks ago, the 3-2-1 buy downs, the 2-1 buy downs, right? If you're at 7% and you go buy down 3% the first year, you're at 4, right? So you're back to 2018 rates, right? You're back to some normality. You know, that 2.5, the 3%, you know, who knows if that's ever going to come back in our lifetime again, unless there's another pandemic, right? So I just, you know, maybe sometimes you got to see something visual to actually see that, you know, rates are going up. And I heard due to these bank closures, right? We've had 2 bank closures in the last week. Silicon Bank, right? Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank both went under, right? And I think with those 2 bank closures, the Fed might not raise interest rates this month. So that might be a good thing, right? I'm hearing both things, but they're going to about raise the interest rates this month 1/4 to 0.5%. Hopefully they don't, right? Due to the fact that these 2 bank closures, right? So hope and pray that they don't. Unfortunately, these banks went down. Hopefully more banks do not go down, because that's, of course, that's another drain on the economy, right? So we don't want that either, all right? So I just wanted to throw that out there, that information out there, that sometimes we got to look back in time and remember we did have lives before the pandemic, and interest rates were that 4%, between 4 and 5%. That's a good rate. That's a pretty good rate, but we were just spoiled, basically. Okay. Any questions on that at all? Anybody on that? No. So I always like to throw those things out there, that we need to sometimes redirect ourselves and kind of back to life, back to reality. And so here we go. Now we're going to go into let's see here. I share my screen again. We're going to go into the nitty-gritty. We're going to go into, you can see my screen? Can everybody see my screen?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, great. So now we're going to go into the CMA today. I'm not going to keep you guys too long today, because I know Misty has to go to bed.
It's true. It's true.
By
We
9
all-
o'clock, that's it. By 9 o'clock,
Sorry.
I know our bedtime, right, at this point. Okay. So we're going to go back to the property that I showed you guys last week. I don't know. Why did it log me out? So this is a listing real close to my house. It's for sale. And I'm going to show it to you right now. And this is what we used last week in our training. It had a bunch of technical issues last week. But anyways. And here it is here. And this is it's still on the market. It's still active. It's been on the market for 12 days. It's a trust sale. An elderly person passed away in this house. They are going to have another open house on Thursday, tomorrow, for about an hour. Who does, I mean, I guess that happens, but an open house for an hour? Okay. Anyways, I don't know. That doesn't seem like enough time, but for an hour, I don't have anybody done an open house for an hour. So doesn't seem very helpful or useful, if you ask me. But anyways, this is the property that we're going to value. We're going to do a valuation on, okay? It's a 1697, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, 785. I did not call the agent. I was curious, but I did not call the agent on it because, like I said, it's in my neighborhood. So it's behooves me to know what this sold for, because of course, for, equity, hopefully if it sells this much. Similar size to my house, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, very similar size to my house. So, but anyways, so we're gonna do a search real quick. I'm gonna do this really fast. I'm not gonna spend too much time on this CMA. I'm not gonna do the 1004 and all that stuff. So we're gonna do the CMA. And I'm just gonna go over this real fast, 1,500 square feet to 2,100. I always like to go a couple hundred above, but I like to go maybe 100 or 2 below, but I like to go above like 400 to 500 square feet bigger, something like that, because I want to see some larger stuff. So I know where the value is too much, right? But I don't want to go too small, right? So that's why I go about 1,500. We're almost 1,700, so I'm at like 2,100. So in about what, 400 square feet, 500 square feet. I know this house is built like in the 1950s and 1960. Boom, right there. And we're ready to go. We have about 39. So there's the results, okay? And I want to see it. I'll go back to the criteria. We're going to do a little map here. I think you guys are very familiar with a lot of this already. We're going to do a polygon because we're below the freeway. And we're going to get our results. So these are all our comparables, right? So I'm going to start choosing these things. I'm going to start choosing some comparables because this is when you do the CRMLS CMA, it's very manual, right? All the other CMAs, they pretty much pick the comps for you, right? KB Core, this cloud CMA that I'm going to show you pretty much picks them for you. The quick one on the KB Core Quick, that one just generates a CMA out of the blue, whatever there, so this is the only one that you have real control over the comparables that you want to use on your CMA, right? So I'm just going to get, the closest stuff, the most recent stuff. I'm not going to look too hard. I'm going to just do the best I can. I just try to just show you the real fast, quick, easy. This is us right here. That you want on the CMA, like I mentioned last week, don't put any more than 10 comparables. You're just going to confuse your seller. It's going to just be way too much. 10, if you put 15 comparables, it's going to be just way too much. 10 at the most. I would put like 7 or 8, 7 closed sales, maybe 2 pendings, but they're in a listing or something, or, whatever, 3 of whatever, but 7 closed and 3 of a pending or a listing. But once you get more than that, beyond that, you're just going to really confuse your seller, your potential seller that wants to work with you. So hopefully they want to work with you, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to put like 10 here, something like that. 7, this is a probate, so I really don't want that one. So things like that. And I'm just going to start picking. I'm just going to be very random at this point. I just want to show you guys, what we went over the other day, which was a lot of technical. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Another 785, 760, and then another 772, right? I think that's 10. Yeah, that is 10. Yes, so right here, check 10. So now I'm going to go to the CMA, right? Now I'm going to click into the CMA. And then I'm going to create whatever. I'm going to send it to, we'll send it to Anna, even though she's not on tonight, but that's fine. Pick whatever contact that you have, right? And then the pages. This is the very important part of it. Because in this CMA, this is what I went over last week, was the one that you could do price adjustments. You could do price adjustments on your comparables. And it's going to make you look really credible if you do it right. I don't know if I would do, this is one of the first things I would do starting off as a new agent, but as you get more savvy and you get more confident in your adjustments and things like that, you get a better feel of doing a listing presentation with sellers. You might start wanting to do this, and then you're really going to stand out amongst the others, because I'm assuming a lot of the other agents do not make adjustments on their CMAs, right? But there's adjustments to be made, right? We do them mentally, right? When we look at comparables, oh, well, that house is big, so you're gonna drop it down. Has a pool, so we're gonna drop it down a little bit more. But this way, you visually see it on the CMA, right? So you need this price adjustment sheet. You can take it out, right? But you need that to do this type of analysis, right? So keep that there. You can add, I'm not going to go over all of that, but you can add, up to 5 custom pages, PDFs. So here's a subject. I already copied and pasted the MLS number. We're going to fill that in. There's the comps, and it fills everything. Make sure everything is correct, because sometimes the bedrooms and baths are not correct, okay, on this. See parking total, stucco, 16. You will see sometimes the square footage is different, or sometimes they won't put a bathroom. So make sure that all this criteria is correct, because not, then it's not your CMA is not going to come out correct. So any questions so far? It's very easy, very fast. Hopefully
I do want to ask you a question, Renee. I'm sorry. You know how you were
Sure.
saying you were confirming the square footage, what have you. I have a friend who's also a realtor, and he is Mr. I carry the toolbox. He's got the tape measure. He's got the lanyards. He's got the level, the marbles to check the floor level, what have you. Is it our responsibility or our thing to confirm the square footage just for our peace of mind, or ultimately whose job is it to confirm, hey, on paper it's this, but it's actually this? Is that the appraiser?
Well,
or
I mean,
Agent.
agent?
Yeah, well, of course it's
No.
the agent's fault.
No. Agent should insist that the buyer do their due diligence and check with the city, check with the county. You can look into things with them, but not for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
In other words,
Yeah,
don't let me be the one who's out there, hold that end and read it here, or just give them access to be able to do it, or?
You could do that if you want to, but are you an appraiser now? That's what I do.
That's what I'm
measure
thinking, right?
homes. I measure homes. And a lot
Okay.
of people don't know how to measure a home, right? They don't know how to measure it, right? So unless you know how to do it, right?
Right. Gotcha.
So that's why a lot of people use the AP number. The APN number, when you're doing a listing, you click on it and you're going to use that APN number because you want to use the public records information, right? You don't want to put your neck out there, but of course, like Frank was saying, buyer to verify square footage and other information. Buyer to verify, right?
So in this ground, if I'm a buyer's agent, and if it says buyer has to verify, what am I doing for the buyer as an agent for them?
I would just look at public records. Basically, that's about it. Go to the city to verify square footage. If they have an addition, go to the city and see if it's permitted. And we'll ask the agent first, right? If the agent, hopefully the agent, they should know that, but sometimes they don't. It's like, oh, I don't know if it's permitted or not, because they don't want to stick their neck out, right? So
The most that we are to do as an agent is we can give them information on the best of our knowledge. Like on the MLS, it says this. I checked the tax records, it says that. Go down to the city and check with them to see what they have on record. Go online, go to the county assessor's website, see what they have on record, or maybe go in person and find out if it's a concern for you. I really want you to know. So go to the key sources, go to the city and see what they say, go to the county and see what they say. But all I can tell you right now is this is what is showing from what I have, from the information I have.
yeah, you could do
But
that
I don't go pulling permits and all this stuff. A lot of us used to do that in the past. And, thank goodness I didn't have any buyers that were not willing to do it themselves. So I would pull stuff, but I wouldn't give it to them. I'd pull it to look through it, and I'd clue them in, like, I couldn't find a permit. I couldn't see this additional square footage, but I need you to go down to the city to see if the story that they gave me matches the story that they give you. It's more important that you go down there and you get copies and you look for yourself. Don't just rely on what I'm saying here, because I might have gone down there on the day where the new guy's behind the counter and he missed something, you
Right.
know?
And what I've seen also too is like some properties that are on them, they fall out of escrow. So they've had they've had a appraisal done, right? So sometimes I've seen like, oh, per appraisal, for prior appraisal, the square footage is da 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 da. So sometimes I've seen that too. But it's just up to you. Like me, if that was an issue, I would measure the house, because that's what I do, and I feel confident that I can, that I can measure it correctly, right? And I can come out. But somebody who's not familiar with measuring homes, I have software that I can do that, right? I just pump in the numbers and blah blah blah. I was create the sketch and digitally, and it pumps out the number, right? But or you could do it manually, on a graph paper. But if you're not confident in that, but mostly I would lean on the assessor's square footage, right? And if not, if that's an issue, if they have an addition, then I would go to the city and ask and look for permits. But you're doing your due diligence, right? You're just not sitting there just like whatever, right? You are doing your due diligence, but mostly it's the buyers, they need to verify, right? So, you can only do, so much at that point. So any other questions on square footage? Bedrooms and baths, everything just needs to be verified, So cover, we're going to go over cover. Just keep going, just moving through. There's me, I'm doing it for Anna. And here's the comparables. Here's the comparables that we did. I'm just going to keep adding those, and they're already done. If we want to take one out, we just click one of these, and or we can add another from the listing. We can add another one if we don't like one. We can just eliminate one and add another one. And then it's going to create a map. It's going to create your maps. And it shows you where all the properties are. This is where the subject is, of course. And then, of course, you have all the rest of these. And there's 10 of them here. And this is the adjustment page that we talked about the other day, last week. This is where it gets down to the nitty-gritty of it all. And unfortunately, you cannot make adjustments on the KB Core CMA. There's no way to do it. You just get what you get. As what I've seen, I haven't seen where you can make adjustments on the comparables on the KV Core comps, right? But this one you can. So we're just going to do a couple of them. I know this is really kind of difficult, especially, well, this one's kind of easy. Well, this one's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, just like us. It's on Serenade and similar age, fireplace. We're not going to make an adjustment for that. A lot of times, just put a 0 there because it shows that I considered it. I saw it. Well, they both have family. They both have fireplaces, so this one doesn't matter. But a lot of times, if it's something like this, appliances, barbecue range, we considered it, we saw it, but we didn't make an adjustment. At least the 0 will show that we considered it. We saw that there was something different there, but nothing enough to make an adjustment. Parking, no data. I'm assuming all these have garages. Total square footage, 1697 to 1628. That's less than 100 square feet. Typically, as an appraiser, we don't make adjustments. We don't adjust homes, square footage, make an adjustment for any square footage less than 100 square feet. If you want to, you can. You can nickel and dime it if you want, whatever you want. But typically, we don't. Lot square footage. This is 8503, and this is a little over 10,000. So there could be an adjustment there. There could be an adjustment there. That's about 2,000, about 2,500, about 2,000, little over 2,000 square foot of lot there, right? So on this case, I'm not going to make an adjustment for the lot, but you could, all right? So there's really no adjustments here, but you could still and then we're going to go next to the next one, and we're just going to do the same thing. 2-bedroom, 2 baths, bedrooms, 4 versus 3. We talked about that last week. You want 4 small bedrooms or 3 big bedrooms. It's up to you, whatever the buyer wants. I'm just gonna zero those out. I don't think there's a big adjustment for 4 bedrooms versus 3 bedrooms, unless you have a lot of kids or a lot of family members, right? I don't think there's a huge, difference between that. Appliances, these are, again, zero it out. 1990, now we're at 1697 to 1580, all right? So now we're talking some adjustment here, right? 1697 minus 1580 is it's about a little over 117 square feet, right? So we're going to multiply that. We're in the 800,000. So I'm just going to ballpark it. My adjustment per square footage is going to be about between $70 and $75 a square foot, right? We're not using price per square foot. We're using just dollars per square foot. And in this range, $70 to $80 a square foot, I'm gonna split the difference, and I'm gonna say 117 times 75. That comes to 87.75. I don't like using those crazy numbers. So I'm gonna add $9,000 to this because it's smaller than what we're comparing it to. Lot square footage 8503 to 70. This is a smaller lot. We could make an adjustment. I'm not going to, but you could. So and then that's about it. But after the adjustment, it's about 738. And then we go to the next. I'm not going to do all these. I'm just showing you kind of what total baths, 3 baths versus 2 baths. So how much does a bathroom cost? Just building a bathroom.
30, 35.
About 30, 35, somewhere around there. Yeah, that's about, I would say that. I would say about that. But what would the market, this is where you need to analyze the market. There's a difference between cost and market value, right? The cost is about 30,000, 35. But what is the market value? What is somebody willing to pay for that extra bathroom in the market? That's where we need to go into all the comparables and see, right? Right.
Okay.
It might not be 35,000. It might be only 15 to 20, right? It could be something like that. So for that, and sometimes they'll put 3 bathrooms, but it could be only a half a bath, right? So a half a bath is, that's a toilet and a sink, right? Right. So I'm going to say, for another bathroom in this, I'm going to say minus about 15,000. I'm going to split the difference there. I think people will pay about 50, it could be 20, but I'm going to knock it about 15 grand. Your build is similar, very similar, very similar. Got garage, yes, storage, yes. No data. This one's 1697 to 1505. I think the adjustment was about 9,000. This is a little bit smaller, so I'm going to knock this about 10. I'm going to add about 10,000 on this one because it's smaller. And then 8503 to 8915. That's only what, 400 feet, something like that. So that's not a big. But I'm going to put a 0 there. That I noticed it, I recognized it, but I'm not going to make an adjustment for it. So the adjusted price is 730, right? After all that. We're not going to do any more. So you get the gist, right? You get the gist. You're going to go through that, all 10 of these, when you feel like this is a good thing. And it really opens up. It shows that, oh yeah, the seller's like, yeah, you're right. That's better. That's worse. That's not as good. That's not as bad. So as you do them all, it's going to make a whole lot of sense. If you just do a couple, it's not really going to make if you're going to do one, you got to do all of them, right? Because they all got to be adjusted where they need to be. So pricing, now that we made all our adjustments, right? So the highs and lows the comparables, the unadjusted is 729 to 875. That's the high. And then median's about, the average is about 775, right? But the adjusted price now is from 730 to 875. And now the average is almost the same thing, 773, 550. So even after all these adjustments, the unadjusted comparable sales price and the adjusted sales price are very, very similar, because now it seems like our adjustments are pretty accurate, right? They're pretty close because our averages are pretty on target, right? So we can be kind of confident that the adjustments that we made are pretty reasonable. They're not out of the ballpark, right? So now we're going to go here to suggested list prices. This is where you put, I think the subject property, blah, 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 is worth 775 or wherever do you think it is. That's where you're going to put, that's where you're going to put your finally you determine, right? Yeah, or you could put a range. You know, I think the properties were 775 to 780, right? You can do that. That's another thing. And then you're finished, right? We're finished. And then we can view the CMA, right? And, you know, we're just going to go through this real fast. We're going to do this really quick. It's going to generate a CMA, but the bad thing about this, it's only a PDF. That's all it is. It's not virtual. It's not a link. It's nothing. It's just a plain old, you know, old school PDF that that you send out. I mean, it looks nice, but I mean, we already know we're spoiled with KV Core and with all the, other stuff that we have that we do. And, these comps will show the adjustments, the ones that we adjusted and things like that. So that's kind of, what I wanted to show you, just to, kind of give you, see, adjusted, did we adjust those? I think we adjusted the first three. I forget where we adjusted, but I know we adjusted some of these. I don't know where that's at, but the adjustments are there. But so that's how that works, making the adjustments, and it shows you all the adjustments and the rest of that, right? So now, any questions on that? I went through that pretty fast because I went through this last week. It's pretty basic,
Yeah, I have a
stuff.
question, Renee.
Uh-huh.
So you said that it's best that for us newer agents not to do adjustments early on, or is that what you recommended in the beginning?
Well, you could do it, but as long as I mean, if you want to, I mean, you can, as long as it's your comfort level, right? At that point, right? Do you feel comfortable and confident enough with your adjustments? And are they reasonable enough that you feel good about it, right? Because in the long run, it's gonna look, you're the one that's going to be sticking your neck out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think as you do more CMAs, right? Then you're gonna start getting a little flow, feel a little confident. You're gonna, see more properties. You're gonna be talking to more people, and then you're gonna be like, oh, okay. Now I kind of, I've done this already. I kind of know, okay, a bathroom in this area, or maybe you've done another listing in this area. It's like, yeah, it's probably about 10, 15, 20 grand adjustment there. The square footage adjustment, it's probably not 60, 70 or 80. It's probably more like 60 to 65, maybe not that much. So you'll get a feel, right? But until you get that feel, I wouldn't start making these adjustments. But if you feel confident, go for it, And so that's what I like about this, but it's really old school with PDF. We have so much other technology now. PDF is great. PDF is wonderful, but doesn't look as nice, doesn't look as professional as the KV Core stuff does. So I just wanted to go over that, okay? So now let's go back. We're done with this, right? We're pretty much done with this. Let's go back to our properties here. Here's our properties again, okay? So now, any questions on the CMA on the CRMLS? We're good with that, right? We're pretty good with that. Now I'm going to show you the cloud CMA. And has anybody ever used this before? Anybody?
No.
Yes.
You have? Okay. Do you like it?
Yeah, I do. I did it just one time. It's been a while, like at the very beginning of my career, months back.
Oh, okay.
But I haven't really did it recently. But yeah, I mean, it worked. I mean, I didn't know any better back then, I was just like, oh, cool,
Right.
market analysis, so yeah, I didn't know. I figured this is pretty cool, but with everything now
right.
yeah.
It
But I like-
has, like,
I did like-
go ahead, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I did like it.
Okay, yeah, I like it too. I like it too, because it brings, like I said, if you're not too savvy on KV Core, this cloud CMA, it might be the way to go. Might be the way to go, because it's part of the CRMLS and you're familiar with the CRMLS, probably more than you are with KV Core, some of you, right? We're all still learning the I'm trying to learn KV Core. I'm doing, YouTube videos. I think you guys did squeeze pages the other day, right? And QR codes. I think that's what Kane trained the other day, and I'm on YouTube learning squeeze pages and how to do QR codes and landing pages and stuff like that. So I'm self-training myself right now, right? Because when you guys become a trainer, and one of these days you guys will be on this end, right? You guys will be presenting one of these days to your recruits, right? Because eventually you guys are probably going to have a team and probably recruiting some, newer agents. You guys will be doing this too. And when you start training people, you have to learn, you have to go in and dig into it so you can train others, right? Correct? So one of these days you're going to be sitting where I am, training your recruits, your mentees, right? The people that you bring aboard to EXP, right? I'm assuming you guys want to build a team, right? So we're going to go to the Cloud CMA. And for some reason, to get to the Cloud CMA, even though you're not going to use any of these, you're not going to select in the Cloud CMA, you are not going to select anything. It selects it for you. However, you need to click on something to highlight all of this, right? To highlight all of this, right? But before we do that, I'm just going to real quick, if you want to share a link, let's say on this listing of this Lucille, and you just don't want to email it to him, you just click share link, right? And then it copies a URL for you, right? And you can copy and paste it. You can copy and paste it, put the URL wherever you want to do it. It's really easy. It creates a URL for you. And I know squeeze pages and all that stuff. If you guys went on the training yesterday, if you can want to do that for a single or multi-property or market conditions, the squeeze pages creates a URL automatically. But this does too. This does too. You can do it this way also, but it's so much nicer on the KB Core. So I wanted to show you that too. Also, statistics, everything I have here, I just want to show you real fast. The 25 here, you can do stats on this thing. Just click charts. If you want to add this, you can do active listings past 6 months. You can generate a graph. Days on the market, these are just for the properties that were there, those 25. It shows you that you can generate another graph, and you can copy and paste these days on the market. So this is a good thing. This is a good statistical thing if you want to use that. Again, you can do all this stuff on KV Core, and you're going to get all this information on what I'm going to show you right now. All right, so this is just something you can do. You can use it. And then if you want to copy it, you just click copy, save a copy, and then you can paste it, and on the way you go. So I just wanted to show you real fast on that. Those are two quick ways to do a little copy and paste there. Took me out of there. So here we go. We're going to do that. This is what we're going to do for the rest of the evening. So you got to click at least one to highlight all of these right here. And down here it says Cloud CMA. Cloud CMA. And here you go. I don't know if anybody's seen this, but so of course you want to name it. We're going to do it. Let's do it for Frank. Let's do it for Frank. We're going to do Frank C. All right. And if we want to do a private note here, if we're going to do, CMA or we could go West Covina, West Covina prop, West Covina property, of course you want to do something a little nicer, of course, than there's that. So this is where you put the subject property, right? And we're going to do 908, right? Lucille, 908 Lucille. And it's going to come up It's Lucille Avenue. It should come up. West Venice. Oh, here it is, West Covina. West Covina. So this is what I'm telling you about. Before in the CMA, where I had to verify all the information. Look at, there's no bathroom here, and look at the square footage here, 1793. It's not 1697 that was on the MLS, right? I don't know where they got that 1793. I have no idea, because I think on the even on the assessor, the public records, is 1697. Maybe there's an enclosed patio in that thing, in that property on this Lucille property. Maybe they added this the enclosed patio. I don't know, but it's about 100 feet somewhere, more or less. So I'm going to put this. I'm going to put the bathroom in, of course, right? And I'm going to put 1697. So always verify. Always make sure, because if not, your CMA is not going to work out because you don't have the correct square footage, right? If the property is residential, right? It can be manufactured, land, residential. And you can do it on residential income, residential lease, but we're going to do residential. And property is subtype. We don't need all that. And we can just leave that blank. The only bad thing about this, if you want to cover, you want a copy of a photo of the property, you gotta put it in here, physically, manually put it in here. So that's one thing I don't like. So you got to put your own photo there. So that's kind of quirky. So we're going to go into advanced info. It has the lot size, it has the year built. It has even the taxes here. I don't know if that's the prorated taxes that they paid so far, $27.20 and 69 cents. So that's a good thing. You know, probably the taxes they paid possibly up to this day so far this year. Garages, you can put the garages, 2-car, if you want. It's up to you. Area, subdivision. If you live in a subdivision, there's other, some areas, some neighborhoods that are they're in different subdivisions, right? If you're in a planned unit development, a PUD, it's a specific subdivision, right? You want to stay in that subdivision. Typically, I would put the name of the subdivision there, and the style. We got to know styles, right? We're professionals. We need to know the styles of our homes. Tudor, Victorian, Mediterranean, ranch style, craftsman. So this property, this all elongated wood siding, it's a ranch style home. So that's what I'm going to put, just because I want to look more credible, right? I know the differences between the homes, right? So now this is what we're not going to do any listings. We're not going to do manually list anything, right? We're not. So this is where it's out of our control now. We have certain criteria and that's it. Then it just does it for you. So it says automatically find listings near the subject property, right? You click that because it's going to get the most recent, the closest stuff, right? And you can go at least how many, like I mentioned before, we want about 10. It goes 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. We don't want all that. We want 10. And then you can go back. Here's another one. You can go 6 months, 8 months. All I need to do is go 6 months at this point for off-market listings. And then it has more criteria, right? Bedrooms. So we want like 3 to 4 bedrooms. Bathrooms, 2 to 3 bathrooms. Square footage, right? Like I did before. I just went like 100, 200 below. It's like we're at 1697, went 1500. But now I want to go to about 2100. I want to go about 400 or 500 square foot higher at the upper end, because I want to see the larger homes that we're not comparable to. So I know where to cut off. Lot size, I'm not really going to deal with lot size. I know this area, all the lots are between 7 and 10,000 square feet. So if you know your area, I know the areas and the lots are, there is an adjustment there possibly, but I'm not going to worry about that. Right. And then finally, list price. I don't want to do that because I just don't want to put in more criteria. And then it says fetch listings. So that's what we're gonna do. So it pretty much, can everybody see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Okay, good. So this is what comes up. This is what comes up. These are the 10 properties that what I like about this, it's what's really good. It gives you 10, see these highlighted ones, the checked ones, it gives you 10, but it also gives you other ones too. So you can switch out of these. Let's say, hey, look at, this is my subject property. I don't want my subject property, right? So I want to click out of that, right? Because why do I want put my own property when I'm evaluating this property? So it doesn't make sense, right? So I can click out of that, and then I can add another one. I can add something else. So it gives you options, which I really like. It gives you the 10, the best 10, but it also gives you like 10 more, that also could work. So I really like that. That's a really good, I really like that feature. It just doesn't hold me to 10. It gives me options and I can pick and choose. I can include all of them. I can exclude all of them and pick my own if I want to. But why do that? Because they've already done it for you, right? And it gives you the summary price, the lows, the medians, and the average, 8,783, and the highest, 879, right? So that's good, right? The only thing I don't like about this, besides not having a lot of control, I can't do, where I can put a diagonal or, to create, but I guess it's okay because it's already taking the closest ones. So it's already built into the algorithm. So I don't have to, map it out and put like, boundaries and stuff. So, but I'm losing a little control there, right? After we've done our analysis, we're going to put a value here, right? We're going to put a value, what I think, what you think the property is. We've already done a CMA on it. It came to about 773. So I think the property is worth about 775, something like that. Because since we did it already, I'm going to put the number in there. But you won't know this number because you haven't even done the analysis yet. But since I did it, since we've done it one already, I already know. So that's where you put the range. You can go 775 to 780. You can do that too. Wait, missing a 0. So there you go on that. Okay, everything looks good. We got and this is where you can make adjustments. You can also make adjustments here, right? See where it says notes and adjustments? You can make adjustments here too. Location, 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 charming home. What else do we got here? Blah, 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 blah. Interior. Looks like it's in better condition, right? So as you scroll down, right, you keep scrolling down, right? It has all the features, everything like that. You can add a note here. You can add a note, whatever it is. But if you keep going down, see it has adjustment. And you can name the adjustments that you want to put. Sounds like this property is in better condition. So adjustment made, condition. And you can do it and put a value there. What I think is the difference between our house and this house? Newly painted, blah, 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 blah. Looks nice. Yeah, there's photos here. Oh, look at that. This looks way nice. This is nice. Okay. I've been to the house on Lucille. It doesn't look anywhere near this house. Nothing like this house, right? This is so much nicer. So you can condition, right? So I'm going to knock this with a remodel. Hit it. I'll be conservative, 50. All right. Boom, 50. All right. Maybe that adjustment might be a little much, right? And let's say I want to do another one. Let's say I had a pool. Put pool, which it doesn't, but it does. Let's say if it does. What's a pool? Which is a pool in West Covina? How much does it cost to build a pool? About 30 grand? Like your typical standard little, pool?
More than that.
Kidney shaped pool? 35? Well, now, because
More
of
than that.
labor and. Okay, it costs about 35 to 40 maybe, right? But is anybody gonna pay 30, are you gonna pay 35 to $40,000 for a pool?
Not in West Covina.
Not, no, probably not.
No,
Yeah, you're right.
I grew up there. I'm not putting it down.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, no, me neither. I wouldn't either. I'm not gonna pay, you gotta get a pool guy, there's maintenance, blah, blah, blah. It's a lot of work, right? So in the markets, like I said, cost versus market, right? Cost versus market, right? What it costs is different from what the market determines it's worth. I'm gonna say pool is minus 15 grand, right? I'm gonna save that too. I'm gonna knock this down to about 40. I'm gonna say about 40 grand here. Right? So you can make adjustments here, right? So total adjustment, oh, this is minus 40, sorry. Got to make sure you're going the right way. Don't add something where it should be. So after the total adjustment is $55,000, right? And you can do this to all of these if you want. You can do this to all of these, right? And so there you go on that. So that's a really good thing. I like that. You can do it here at 725. You want to do the same thing that you did, that we did previously on the other CMA. We could do that. So that's where this comes in pretty handy. So now that we've done, I just did one adjustment just to show you guys you can do it. So go to adjustments and notes. And in the notes section, I would say, that property has, it looks like it appears to be remodeled. I put a pool, it appears to have a nice pool, blah, 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 blah. And that's what you would put in the notes here. And you'd add that note. And it's all going to show up when you create the CMA, right? So now that we've done that, let's say we did that to all our comparables that we used, like we did on the other one, then you customize the report. This is what I really like. You can customize this and it gives you pages and themes and layouts and templates and all this other good fun stuff. Now you can start creating, right? So now you have theme. It gives you all kinds of different themes, right? Black and yellow, blue and green, blah, 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 blah. Modern, teal, you can, whatever you want to make it fancy. I put blue and orange, right? I just put blue and orange, right? That's what I got, blue and orange. Then there's different layouts. You can do all these different layouts, right? I like this. This is the one I selected because it grids everything like that. Templates, the templates, save a temp, you want to appraise a report? Not really. Do you want a buyer CMA? Well, if you're working with a buyer, of course. Comps only? No, I don't want just comps, of course not. Pre-listing package, that's what I want. I want a pre-listing package because I want to use this for my seller, right? That's what I'm looking for. Cover, these are you have to pay for. So don't use any of these unless you want to pay for them. And font, you can change the fonts. You can change the fonts, whatever you want. If you wanted something a little bit more bold or something. So, a lot of these other ones, you can't change the fonts, I don't think. But this one, you can get a little creative here on this one, which I liked. You can, I have it on the Candal right here. So it's a little bolder, that's all. And then the language, you can do Spanish. For all you Spanish speakers out there, if you have, isn't this good? You can use you can all be in Spanish. Right? So that's a good thing. I don't think any of the other ones have that at all. That you can create a Spanish CMA. I thought that was really good. Any questions so far?
But that's racist. You can't create a Spanish one. They don't have them.
Not on the other ones, not on the CRMLS one. You can't do the language. I think it's all just English.
That's not right.
I know. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just
saying.
Yeah, and I don't think you can do it on KV Core either. I'm not sure. You have to ask Coach Kane on that one. But I think this is when I saw that, it's like, oh, okay. And I printed one out. I did one in Spanish, and it looks really good the way. But it's just English and Spanish. So, but it's not Mandarin or the rest of that. So it just has English and Spanish. So now we're going to go into a little bit more, creativity here. We're going to do the cover letter. They have a cover letter, right? Dear Frank C., I appreciate the opportunity to share my business plan with you. Blah, 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 blah. Just read it. It's all written for you. It's all written for you. You can also edit it. See, you can edit it. Whatever you want to add to it, right? I like that too. Agent resume. Now you're going to talk about yourself, right? I don't know. You don't have to add these. You can take these out. If you're a new agent, you don't have a lot of experience or the education. You guys all have education, I'm sure. Professional associations, personal information, right? Affiliations, right? So maybe this is something, for people to get to know you and who you are, your background. And then this is what I like to our company. It tells you about eXp Realty. It describes it right here. And I put the icon and everything, the logo, and you just read it. And I mean, it describes, eXp Realty. I didn't check the other ones like Keller, if they all say the same thing, but what it says, and again, you can edit it. You can edit it, right? So that's a good thing too. So I really like that, right? I really like those. And then contact me. Here's me, right? Renee Oliva, blah, 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 blah. And then you just do all the, you create all this stuff. I'm going to show you where you add all this stuff. And then it tells you what a CMA is, selling your home in a tough market, which we are in, all the listings, compare property statistics, blah, 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 blah. It gives you all and then client testimonies, CMA versus an appraisal. It shows you how to do this. And these are things that you don't have to add. You can see the little minus here. You can take these pages out if you don't want them, right? Right. So any questions on that so far? Anybody?
No,
No? And then you can actually change the title page. It doesn't have to be comparative market analysis. It could be, if you want to change it to your property valuation or, whatever you want, you can edit this. It doesn't have to be comparative market analysis, right? You can edit it. You just click edit and then you can change the name, right? You can change the name to whatever you want to change it, but I would just leave it, right? So any questions at all? It seems pretty good. And then you want to publish it. You're going to publish the report. And all this is free, by the way. This is part of your CRMLS, your dues that you pay quarterly, right? So this goes to your CMA is ready. You can view it as PDF, right? PDF. Which is okay. Get out of that. How do I get out of that? Let's go. That's not letting me get out. How do I get out of here? Oh, here we go. I don't want that. Okay. And then we can go to view it live, right? You can view it live. And you can copy this link. So this is exactly what KB Core is, right? KB Core, this is the link to it, right? Comparative market analysis, and it has everything that we talked about. Agent resume, things like that. Our company, like I went through, so we can do all this stuff. What's a CMA? Has all this different things. And then of course you want to go down to the nitty gritty, right? Oh, client testimonials. Do you have past clients? Get your testimonials from your past clients, guys. Whatever deals you close, ask your clients after you're done and you did a great job and you think you did a great job, can you go, at the end of the transaction later on when everything's closed and recorded and everybody's happy? Oh, would you possible, if you could just maybe text me or email me a testimonial? I'd really appreciate it. Always ask for a testimonial if you did a good job. I'm assuming all of you are going to do great jobs, but they really work, right? You want those past clients and their testimonials, right? You want that. Sellers, what is an MLS? A market action plan. Oh, then the comps. Here's your comps, right? Here's your comps. Here's all your comparables that we did. The photos, blah 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 blah. And there, you just scroll through them, and these are all the adjustments. Where's the? Oh, here's the one. This is the one that we adjusted. See this one right here on Grandview. See this little arrow down? That means we adjusted down. Since we only did one, if we did all these adjustments, you'd have little arrows up or down. So you just click on that arrow, and it's going to show you all the details, all the history, all the everything, right? It's going to show you, all the information on it. And the adjustment. See the adjustments here? It's 818, and then we adjusted it 40 for the condition and 15 for the pool, even though it didn't have a pool, we just made that up. So we adjusted $55,000. So it's going to show there on the CMA, right? So that's good. I mean, that's a really good thing. So I really like this CMA, and that's pretty much it on that. And then it goes, average pricing per square, these are the average price. It goes through all this information. It has tons of information. Online valuation. Another thing I like about this too, it makes a comment on the Zestimator. You know how everybody goes to Zillow when they're trying to price property, right? This shows you how accurate are those estimates. And they're not very accurate. As you can tell, Zestimates vary up to 5% or $40,000 compared to actual MLS prices. Usually that 40 is higher. Usually Zestimate, the Zillow is always, the price is always bumped up higher. And this shows you, and it does an analysis, right? That the Zestimates are about 5% higher or $40,000 than what the actual property is, right? We know that Zillow is a marketing tool. They want people to come, right? It's a marketing tool. So this is a good thing to tell your seller, because the first thing they're going to do when they want to sell their home is go to Zillow, right? And they're going to say, oh, my house is worth $850. Well, no, not really. It's probably worth about 800 or 810 or something like that. So this will show you, and I really like this too, and it's not all the same. It's not all generic, because I did a few of these, and sometimes it would be 6%, and one of them was like 7%. So I really like that page. It kind of gets your seller out of that Zestimator mindset, right? And then the suggested list price, right? This is what I did earlier in this, 775 to 780, right? The average price is 784. So we are maybe a little bit low, but this house, it needs work. So that's why I did a little bit lower. So, and then of course you want to copy the live link. You can copy the live link, and then just copy and paste it to, just open up and just put the URL in there. Any questions on that? Any questions? So it has best of both worlds. It has the virtual, it looks really nice. You can make adjustments. The only thing, you don't have really a lot of control over the comparables, but they're so close and they give you extra so you can switch and choose if the 10 that you initially choose weren't the best, or what they choose wasn't the best. Any questions?
How soon before we could get a copy of this presentation, Renee?
You can get it as soon as Kane edits it. Which he gets it back to me within days.
Oh,
And then
tomorrow,
I
tomorrow
upload it to
morning.
him.
Awesome. Awesome.
Tomorrow, oh, you said tomorrow morning, Kane?
Yeah. No, I'm just kidding.
But whenever he
Thank
does, then
you.
he'll send it to me, and then I upload it to my YouTube channel.
I gotta
So
go to
any
bed.
questions on that? Did you guys like that? I kind of like this one.
Very cool. Very cool.
Laura,
Stayed
success.
awake.
Anybody?
No, I said I actually stayed awake,
Oh, you actually stood away. Oh, great.
but now I'm logging off. Thank you, Renee.
No, but I think Laura said, Laura, did you learn anything new that you didn't know before?
I did. A lot. Oh my goodness. Yes. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Got really into detail because the person that showed me was good, but didn't really break it down like you did. And we didn't go over adjustables or anything like that. But yeah,
Right.
you really did go in depth with it. So yeah, thank you. I did learn a lot.
I like the fact that you can create your own, with the other CMA, they already give you the criterias, right, that they can adjust. But this one, you could adjust for anything. Let's say solar panels, right? You know what I mean? If the house had solar panels versus the other house that didn't, I think one of those houses had solar panels. You could make an adjustment if you could see that there's an adjustment to be made. Right?
Yeah, great feature. Yeah. I like.
Or the other CMA, if they had a really nice enclosed patio, right, that the other one didn't, you could put enclosed patio minus whatever, right? So I like the fact on this one that you can actually create your own adjustments and name them and do the adjustment. The other one kind of you can't do, you can only adjust for what they have there, the criteria they have there. But this one you can make other adjustments that you can create yourself. Right, so I really like that, and I like the cover. I like all the other information. You can add about our company, about EXP. I love all that stuff. Putting your own personal information on there. It's and then of course it has a link, just like KB Core does. It's not so like PDF and that's it, But you can do PDF, it says right there, or you can email it too and PDF it also. But I like the link. Links are just they just look more professional, right? They just look nicer than PDF. So any other questions out there? I just wanted to show that. I thought, I think so now we have 4 CMAs. So you can't say, I don't have any CMAs. I don't know how to do it. You have 4 of them now, right? You got the CRMLS CMA. You got the KV Core CMA. You have the Cloud CMA. And you have that fast, real quick KV Core CMA. There's 4 of them there, right? There's 4 that you can use. And whatever you're more comfortable with, use whatever you want. I mean, if you're good on KB Core, use KB Core. If you're not so good on KB Core and you're still learning KB Core, maybe go to the CRMLS one or this Cloud CMA one, where you might feel a little bit more, little more knowledgeable about it. Then use that one. But whatever one, or use all of them, whatever works. But I think in this one you can be a little bit more creative because it gives you a little bit more options, like fonts and themes, and the grids, the page setup, different things like that. So I think KB Core does too, but it's kind of limited. But I think whichever one you want to use, I think that'd be the thing is just learning it. Basically just learning it. Learning, and getting familiar. But any other questions on that?
Yes. So where did you? I'm sorry. What am I going? I don't know.
You're kind of echoing.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Timothy, yeah, that you? Okay.
Okay. So I wanted to ask the EXP logo and stuff. Is that something you uploaded on your profile or something?
I did.
Or is it already? Okay.
No, I had to go on Google Images.
Uh-huh.
I'll show you where you get all this. You click on your icon here. See, there's me up here on the right hand. You click on it and go to account settings.
Got it.
And this is, then you create your profile, right? You know, you can change your avatar. That's me. Your name, and has everything here, your email. This is what, and then what I did was I went to Google Images and I got this EXP image. I copied and pasted it.
Okay.
And then West Covina, blah, 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 blah. And then right here, then California. And then you just have to create your profile. And then once you're here, and then you go to contact info. And this is where you put your
Mhm.
contact,
Got it.
your contacts, how to get in touch with you, right? So this is how I have my cell phone first, and then my email, and then of course my website, and then my Twitter, even though I don't do Twitter, but I have a Twitter account, but I don't use it ever because I'm not a big Twitter person. And then my designation, I'm broker associate, and then my DRE, right? My DRE number, right?
Mhm.
But you can add some. You go to contact method up here. And if you have a blog or if you have you can put your Facebook there.
Mhm.
It has fax, but who uses faxes anymore, really?
Mhm.
LinkedIn, if you have a LinkedIn account, I don't know if you want to put a LinkedIn account, but that's up to you. Or if you have your address, your mobile, of course, but your office phone, Twitter, and your website, okay?
Mhm.
And then once you add that, once you put that in there, let's say you want a blog, right? Blog, okay? Then you put your blog address there.
Okay.
And then once you put that in there, right, you'll type something in there and then you click add, right? And then it will put it down here in your contact list. And the cool thing about this, you can mix and move these, right? You can put this up or down. See, just click and drag it up and down, right?
It's pretty much like Linktree.
Yeah, like Linktree, yeah, basically. But you want all this information because all this information is going to go on that page that I showed
That's
you with
CMA.
my face and everything. And,
Right.
all this information is going to go on the CMA, right?
Got it.
So you want all that, you want to create all this. If you're going to use this cloud CMA, my recommendation is to create your profile and your contact info. You know what I mean? And that, because it's gonna show up on all your stuff, right?
Mhm.
So that's what I would do. So that's how you get into that, right?
And the verbiage is already available. It's not something you uploaded.
Excuse me?
The verbiage of you or the cover letter and the
It's all
of the-
created for you. It's all
it's already
templated, yeah.
there. Right.
But you can edit it and you can add to it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. For the company, for anything basically, for the cover letter, you can edit that too. Yeah. So whatever you want to do to that. So that's why this has a lot of freedom. This has a lot of, if you want to be a little bit more creative versus the other ones, that it's kind of a little bit limited in terms of creativity.
Right.
But yeah.
Another question is that we did not go through the marketing plan, right? Is there something standard that always goes in a marketing plan?
In terms of,
You were going through the CMA that was produced, right? So it had the cover letter. Yeah, here.
the marketing
plan.
action plan.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you can click there. Yeah, it's already made up. The first, we're going to enlist in the MLS. We're going to pick up for sales yard sign. Second week is it tells you basically what you're going to do, right? Which we do, right? Install lockbox, right? Schedule time to shoot property photos, review showing procedures, right? It tells you basically what the marketing plan is going to be. This is the first week, this is the second week, this is the third week, ongoing activities, right?
Oh,
So
okay. So it's already there. I thought that's
Yeah.
something you will have
No,
to.
it's a lot of this is already there. Yeah, it's all it's kind of like a lot of these are templated in. Commission distribution. I don't know if you want to have this one there, but you can. It's up to you. It shows you, the buyer's agent, the buyer's broker, blah, 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 blah. I mean, if you want that, listing paperwork overview. But definitely, if you guys have testimonials, add them from your prior clients. Add those
Mhm.
babies. I mean, that's really powerful stuff, right? You're new, so you might not have that many testimonials, but 1 or 2 testimonials is better than no testimonials, right? So average pricing, comps, time to sell on suggest time. Is it time to sell? How many days on market? 44 so far. It's 44 days on market in this area, in West Covina, and it's the list price is 96.31%, right?
So
So-
that is the amount you get to.
These homes sold
list
for an
price.
average of 96.3% of list price, so they're selling
of
less
list
than list.
price.
Yeah,
Right.
so they're selling less than list. They're selling a little over 96% instead of 100%, which is list, right? It's a lot of good info here. I mean, like I said, you don't have to add all these pages,
Mhm.
but if you want to, like I said, and initially when you're setting this up, you can eliminate some of these pages, right?
Right.
Average price, everybody, you guys asked me about price per square foot. Here's your price per square foot for you guys. $4.29 a square foot average, right? So if they're asking, oh, so what's the price per square foot? Boom, right here, $4.29. So I think intelligent pricing, right? Ask price versus a percentage of the buyers, right? It gives you all these different things, which KV Core does also. But this has a different, just a different look, just a little bit more, info, right? There's some up here too that I really haven't looked at every little thing, but so any other questions about that? I think this is a good way to go. I like that.
Mhm.
And I don't know what you guys, what's the overall consensus? Do you guys like this one?
It looks really good. It's very intuitive.
And it is very intuitive for sure. It is very intuitive. And you can alter it and it doesn't look so generic like some of the other ones. But I liked it because it has its own link. It's not just PDF stuff, so anything else tonight? You guys good? It's coming at the bottom of the hour and I don't know if Misty's still awake, but hopefully. Any other questions before we conclude? No? Anyway, Frank, are you out there? Any last comments? Maybe not. Okay. Well, anyways, good evening, everybody. I mean, thank you everybody for participating. Hopefully you got some good info out of this. The Cloud CMA. I really was impressed with it. I just tinkered with it before. I've never really used it that much. Usually I was doing the other one, but once I started doing this and just getting a little bit more familiar with it, I really like this one. I really like this one for something, that there's a lot of comparables and there's a lot of, but if you're in rural property or you have some craziness, some difficult this is probably not the way to go. It's probably more the manual one, the CRMLS one. If you have something unique, this might not be the way to go. But I think something in this general area that there's a lot of comps and things like that, I think this might be a good way to go. I think, of course, the KV Core one is excellent to use, but it comes down to familiarity and how confident you are with that. If you're not too familiar with KV Core, not yet, you're still learning, use this one. Once you get better, use the KV Core, right? Use the KV Core. Because end all be all, we all want to be like proficient in the KV Core, right? That's our CRM, right? That's our CRM. We need to know that inside and out, upside and down, right? So, but this is a good way to get your CMA out there. Okay, guys. So if there is no other questions, I want to thank you for attending this evening. Hopefully you got some good info out of it. Stay dry. I don't think it's going to be raining anymore for the rest of the week. Thank the Lord Jesus. You guys have a great week, and I guess we'll talk to you next week on next Wednesday.